we got here, man. We had to warm up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? See what we got. Oh, we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Happy New Year. Okay, it's harvest season. Get yourself ready. You feel me? But anyway, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you guys here. Now, I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, as a spiritual healer, my job, what I do pretty much, I help you to have a better understanding of who you are. This is where now the term consciousness comes in because, I help you to become conscious or to become aware about who you are. So that's why you being conscious plays a big part. It's like us being aware of a life within a life. The whole aspect of being born again is to recognize the other life that is within this life. This is why early on, we all used to look at ourselves only from a physical perspective. And now for you to be born again is when you start to understand and realize that there is more to you than what you look like. Another way of saying this would be, as Jesus said, you needed, or we all need more than just, let's just say dick and pussy, for you to be fulfilled in life or for you to be fully complete. This is why money alone is not going to do it. There are so many different aspects of yourself. This is where now you start to realize, to be born again, and this is what I'm helping you with, is now to acknowledge that other aspect of yourself within yourself. This is where and why we all have the term awakening or to become the true Illuminati. That's what I help you with, which simply means to be fully illuminated. Now you become the light of the world by you being who you are, radiating your gifts, being the best version of yourself. That's what spirituality is. I mean, that's what the whole purpose of it is. And this is where now you have all those different mystery schools or, different, manuals, but ultimately the goal is for you to become a better you or for you to know the truth about who you are. Again, a deeper understanding. And that simply realize you have to go past what you see. Now, once you pass what you see, then now you step into the unknown, what is not seen. And this is where the occult now will tell you, hey, when you step in there, in that darkness, this is where the light is. This is where who you truly are is. And that's what I help you with. But then again, all of that is reflecting who you are. Mm-hmm. 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 Let me get mine for a sec. Mm-hmm. Mm. Man, that's some powerful tea, man. Having a little bit of onion tea with cinnamon in it, turmeric. Yeah, it's clean. It's not dirty. That's it. It's not dirty. I'm saying, you know, you gotta keep it balanced, baby. You feel me? All right. So, going back to what we were talking about in terms of my introduction, so you know what you're dealing with here. Okay? So, yeah, yeah. So that's what I do, right? As a spiritual healer. Now, how do I go about doing that? Well, it's mind, body, and soul. For you to acknowledge all of these, for you to know to fully, become illuminated or fully awakened, you would have to become aware of those different aspects of yourself. This is why you have to go in the darkness. This is why, if, let's just say, if you pick up any spiritual books and some of the basic foundation or some of the basic understanding that they would help you to have is that you have a subconscious mind. So when they tell you about the subconscious mind, this is helping you now. How do you know about it? You don't, I mean, how do you, I mean, it's funny. You become aware of it once you become aware of it. And this is why a lot of people now, once you know it now, you could talk about, hey man, that's when the term doing your shadow work comes in. All of these different things comes in. Again, talking about you, your life, who you are. Again, there is more to even the term shadow work in itself is just showing you there is a shadow in you, or again, there is more to you than what you look like. And that's important for you to understand. That's what you need to become awake to, or, become aware to. I mean, of. This is where those aha moments, you need to have them. This is where meditation now allows you to expand your consciousness now. I mean, your breath work, this is where all of these things start making sense. But if you blindly doing or following any of that, it's not going to be any good to you because you don't know what you're doing. I mean, shit. I mean, if you're doing something, you're going to get something. But when you're doing it understandably, this is different. Now you have a purpose. Now you're truly sharpening up yourself. And this is where you need to get. Like, this is where who you need to become to be, to take accountability for you. I mean, it's yourself anyway. It's your coffin. It's your responsibility. It's you, man. Then now I'm helping you to become aware. Hey, there is more to you than what you look like. And that's what The Matrix, the movie, was able to do successfully. Not even successfully. It's almost like you guys already knew that, right? And that's how, it became what it became. It's almost like you felt it. And then when somebody put, and by the way, this is what genius marketers do. It's to identify the things your shadow self. That's what they do in those music. That's why you loved some of those toxic songs because they are speaking for you. Like the Mario song, "I Can Love You Better." Was it I Can Love You? I don't know. I mean, I can't recall. You know what I'm saying? But anytime you're telling somebody you can love them better than somebody else, it's like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, no, you cannot. If that was the case, they would have chosen you, or they wouldn't be with the person that they are. You know what I'm saying? So all of that toxicity, that lack of acceptance, thinking that you really love, but it's really, I don't know, something else, right? But anyway, how the fuck did I get to speak about that anyway? But anyway, I guess it needed to be said. But the bottom line of what I was trying to tell you is, oh, we were talking about the shadow self. Great marketers, that's what they're able to do. Like, that's what Steve Harvey did successfully. That was his success. Think like a man. How the fuck did it go again? Act like a lady, but think like a man. You were already doing that. You just needed somebody to touch the right button. So you already doing that, meaning you're already living that shadow. And this is why, and as a spiritual healer too, I'm helping you to become conscious of even what you're talking about. As it is within, so it is without. I met this young lady, right? Like, and she was talking about herself. The very first thing, only thing she was talking about was just her fucking career. Not saying that there's something wrong with that, but I'm just saying to you this is where her shadow is. You know what I'm saying? And for me, shit, go get them, girl. Show America you the baddest. You know what I'm saying? Man, what the fuck, man? Where's that lighter? Go get him, girl. You know what I'm saying? Show America you are the baddest. You know what I'm saying? Remind these niggas. You know what I mean? Can I say? I'm saying that to say all of these things are part of your shadow. And I'm trying to shed those lights in for you to understand. So this is why the light is in the darkness. So again, and here's something else too, and I think, it's the mystery part of the occult. I mean, listen, it's of a higher level of intelligence. It's not necessarily meant to keep you away from the truth, but it's meant to tap or for you to see it from a deeper perspective. This is why Jesus used to speak in parable. And by the way, that is also the blueprint when we're talking about the power of words. It's not just the meaning of a word, but how those words are being combined now to say certain things that not, and that's what you do in poetry. That's why it's so important. Poetry, lyricism. That's why, and even all of our ancestors, they write in rhymes, rhyme and reason. They understand that. How do you think hip hop became what the fuck it is? The true power of words, it's how those words are being put together. You know what I'm saying? This is when you go to your church and your pastor is preaching, you're like, I like this pastor. You see what I'm saying? So that's why for me, some people always talk about negativity, positive words, negative words. See, again, this is of a higher order. This is why, we speak from the order of Melchizedek, man. The thing with me, I mean, I just always gotta, you know, speaking of the mystery, come on, it's the flavor. This is why for me personally, I'm infatuated by it. The whole, and that's why I listen to a lot and I read a lot of those old saying too, or wise saying. Come on, man. There's a wealth of wisdom that is locked into these things. And as you unlocking this thing, and there's more that is being said that is not being said. But yet again, that is talking to you in a way that if I wanted to even explain it to you logically, this is what they said, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. Because the way you already got it, there's nothing, I mean, me explaining it now will fuck it up. In fact, would totally fuck it up. So I was saying all that, check out that my other channel. You know what I'm saying? To give is to receive. I just gotta hype me up a little bit. But that's what I do there. But again, ultimately, it's the same mission. I just approach it in different ways. But ultimately, it's for you to become, Christ-like. and that is you having the maximum understanding about who you are and being that. This is where the transformation comes in. You being born again comes in, not necessarily, you used to go to party, you don't party anymore. You may do all of that too. But it's deeper than that. It's that root change. This is why when you understand that you are of spirit, you no longer look at yourself as being a physical being. Not that you're being delusional. I know for me, it's not, and that's what I always tell you guys too, right? It's not being delusional in denying the physical aspect of you, but by you acknowledging a higher side of you, you automatically bypass your physical side. This is why, for me, even for myself, as you acknowledge the spirit in you, now for me, I became very cosmic. Even my body, I could feel the universe around me. Oh man, it's beautiful. Like that's the state of being. It's so rejuvenating. It's the ecstasy in it. Ah, I love this shit, man. The thrill, the life in it, you know, and that's what being of life is. That's what the word is looking for when I speak or anybody else who speaks. That's what the words search in you. This is very important because of the conversation that we're going to have. I want you to keep that in mind because this is going to be part of the foundation. So when the word goes through you, when you hear it, this is how sometimes you may hear something, your mind isn't catching up to it yet, and then it hits you a certain way. See, as a priest, I talk to your soul. This is a whole different conversation. I give you the sight that you need, or insight, same thing. Because your true sight is your insights. That's why you are, when you understand who you are. I know for me, I'm definitely the blind man who's moving, who's reading the scriptures, the book of the lie. When you're walking by faith, you're walking by your understanding. That doesn't mean you're not using these eyes. So the awareness that you need to have is that life within this actual life. And this is how you bring the kingdom of God in this living. You become a God walking amongst men. You got to be the housemaid. You got to be hands on with this thing. Mhm. This is why I always tell people too, man. Like damn, oh, the dog. Like talk is cheap, man. You got to live it. It's the experience. And speaking of that, this is the foundation for the title that you see and the conversation that we're about to have. So we're going to be talking about the illusionist and the true magicians. Now, before I even get, I don't know. Should I get you guys a little more details? I mean, if this is your first time, I guess it's 2026, and I've been chilling for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm back at it, yeah, yeah. Okay, so we talked about you becoming fully complete, right? So that's what I help you with. But that completion entails you becoming in connection with different aspect of yourself, and that's what the awakening is, or the whole awakening thing. It's all about. And then a lot of us too, you've seen there's a timeline, and we are awakening, in due time as well. in your due time. You feel me? So, so I guess I touch on spirituality. I mean, pretty much, I want to, even though I'm talking about demystifying the mystery, I mean, you can't really do it. I mean, I don't know, but the, the whole fun, the joy, the thrill, is in the mystery. Okay? You really want to be at that level where what's understood doesn't have to be explained, you know. But anyway, so okay, so where are we going with this? All right, so again, I guess the one thing I wanted to touch on before I even get started on that conversation is pretty much, you becoming in alignment with yourself. And for you to do that, and that's what I help you with, this is when the Kabbalion, you have to understand good and evil, then you understand good and bad, understand the opposites are one. All these different or truths or gems are necessary for you, to fully open up your eyes. It's helping you to collect a little part of you. This is why you need to invite truths into your life. So that's very important, especially with the conversation that we're going to be having. And us being true magicians, that's what we do. That's why we embrace knowledge. Our purpose truly is to give you the sight. We give you light. We give you understanding. That's what being the light of the world is. We help you to see you, even by me being myself. And that's what I learned even from the other people that I used to love. Again, that's why you have to master the Trinity. In the beginning, it was just me looking at myself. And then now and then later on, I was looking at myself through other people. And then ultimately, when I fully get to see the full picture, and then you realize, nah, man, it's me. Mike Tyson said it best. I don't know who he was having this conversation with, and then he said, he lost everything. He had a lot of money, lost everything, and then regained everything again. And then he said, I realized it was me. Yes, nigga. Yes. Yes, it is you. Yes. And as a side note, due to my circumstances, myself, oh man, there's a lot I left out too, man. Not just a spiritual healer, but being illegally kidnapped and oh man, I was buried alive, baby. And here's something else too. How else would I be able to help you to see you have I not gone through it myself? You see what I'm saying? Nigga, I landed in a fucking war zone on Earth. But it was everything that I needed to. Like shit. Being around man. It got like I used to think, yo, is that I mean, it's normal. This is why too, understanding your subconscious mind is important, right? Because that's why you see a lot of people, depending on what type of information or how they were raised, normal mean, what I'm saying? You'll see people who don't understand, let's just say, boundaries and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say, and this is how too your life becomes a representation of that too. This is why it's important for you to know what you're eating, meaning in terms of the information that you are processing. Like people say, you are what you eat. It's the total opposite, man. You become what you eat, man. And this is why, again, going back to even your God, you acting like your God. And that's the truth. Once you know that, that's going to set you free. That's truly going to bring you to God, contrary to what you may think. This is why, and for you to become fully balanced, you have to acknowledge your emotions and have a deeper understanding of your emotions and your intellect. Your emotions are not against you. You got to know how to use them. And when we speak of emotions, don't get it fucked up. We're not talking about raising your voice, not raising your voice now. We're talking about understanding how you feel and why you feel this way. Because if there's any change that needs to be take place, you can only change by you acknowledging these things. So when you go to see a shrink, you know, when they have you sitting down and talking about your past life, they digging, they helping you to become aware of the things that you were not aware of. Isn't that crazy? So in so many words, you have somebody you're doing your shadow work with. And yet we all still looking at ourselves as just physical. Do you see the misunderstanding in that? Do you see the lack of wisdom in that? And this is how a lot of us been living our lives pretty much. You only look at yourself, not having God in your life from only one perspective. And this is why the truth is set you free too, because once you acknowledge the spirit about you, guess what? Oh, death, where's your victory? And now you understand the transition. I mean, you're taking on a different forms. Isn't that what our fucking ancestors are? Or call them angel, whatever the fuck? But we're going to talk a little more about that because this is all going to be part of our conversation today. So, not now that again, man, you know what I'm saying? Flesh of my flesh, bones of my bone. I mean, how did they say? Blood of my blood and flesh of my flesh. Whatever. But shout out to the dog. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm presenting myself to you. I am the sacrifice. This is that is my credentials. But man, I carried my cross so good, man. You probably wonder if did, did he have to carry yeah, nigga. This is what they did to me. That's what they did to me, man. Huh? You know why they couldn't take me down? Because of God. Stand out. You know what I'm saying? Because of that higher purpose, man. That higher state of mind. You would have to see that first before you could see me. And obviously, you're not a fisherman. You couldn't recognize me. You understand what I'm saying? But being a fucking illusionist, you don't see nothing at all. So let's jump right into it, guys. Now, in terms of, I think I give you enough in terms of what I do and how I do it and what we do here. Because this is the true insight. We're helping you to see beyond the veil. So you tell them what you see here, man. That's what we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? If you recover your sight, let somebody else know. Just tell them where you got it from, man. That's all. It'll be all right. Mhm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Tell on me, man. Tell God what you see me doing over here, man. You tell on me, man. Please do. You know what I'm saying? Don't hesitate, man. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not doing my job correctly, tell on me. You know what I'm saying? But if somehow you're able to get anything at all from here, any site, shit, nigga, that speaks for itself. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be all right. Okay? I'm already taken care of. Trust and believe. So now, I would strongly recommend for you to watch. I've done a video on energy vampires. I would strongly recommend you guys, because there was, I felt like, this is the updated version of it. This is as I myself also became fully integrated as a true magician, and I'm able to see them from a soul perspective, right? And, just like we talk about the fallen angels, if I'm gonna use the Matrix language for a second, we don't know who strike first. I'm saying the whole Cain and Abel type of thing, jealousy, and that has always been around, that type of spirit. So now going back to Energy Vampire, I would strongly recommend that only because. Oh wait a minute, I'm sorry. Only because hold up. Only because there's a few things, and maybe I could summarize it, but there's some other shit too that I talk about. I mean, in itself, that would definitely give you a lot more insights. But again, this is more of an updated version of that. Or, I don't even know if I should say, it's just looking at it from a deeper perspective, from a different perspective. I mean, but everything is still in alignment, right? So we're talking about a deep, like even taking it a step further. We're taking it a step further now. Here. So, but just to summarize or to give you enough, so you could, I guess catch up to what we're talking about today. The energy vampires, pretty much who they are, it's people like you and I, right? And ultimately, that's why we're saying the war, it is a spiritual war, right? If you want to call it that. So what you have when you call your haters, when you have whatever you want to call that, it's people who are built a certain way. You notice they never take accountability. For me, I was raised around people who was like that. So that was very funny. And I thought they were joking, to be honest. I thought this joke was on me. Like, it took me a minute to really fully know, like, they were, no, no, no. These motherfuckers are psychopaths. Like, truly psychopath. Like, there's no helping, there's no changing, there's no nothing. You just got to know who they are. And But ultimately, energy vampires, they don't know who they are. Of course, they don't take accountability. So that's what I addressed in the energy vampire. But most importantly, I got you to understand why they even like that too. And I attached that to the system. You definitely got to check it out. The system in terms of, how we were raised, society, us, you know, being trained to be who we should be instead of who we are. See, this is the system where a lot of these they are able to hide who they are because we're not talking about who we are. All right, bet. That's why these people you understand what I'm saying? So we naturally do that. That's what they do. But anyway, I went more in depth into that, but I wanted to give you a little bit of background in terms of the energy of empires. So now, because they're not who they are, then they seeking attention and all that. This is all valid. It's all valuable. But now we're gonna take it a step further now, right? So ultimately, their core, who they are illusionists. Because what they do, they operate through lies. Let me say that again. What you call your narcissist, or even if we're talking about the spiritual wars, this is ultimately what it comes down to. You have people who are illusionist, who gives you the best lie. They thrive through lies. They have to behave a certain way because they are creating that illusion. And then now on the flip side of that, you have us, the true magicians, meaning we actually go through the transformation. We go through the depths. It's really, there's no secret in having Coca-Cola. I mean, we use that saying in fucking Haiti. Like, there's no secret in Coca-Cola, nigga. It's oxygen, sugar, and water, nigga. Believe it or not. I said, how many times you may quench your thirst, after a rough day, or you hear that, yeah, baby, believe it or not, sugar and water, baby. Yes, sir. So I'm saying all of that to say, right? The illusion that those energy vampires, they thrive through their fucking illusion by creating lies, not just on other people, but even for you, because they're lying. Like, what a liar does is selling you a picture of who they're not. That's why a liar, I mean, you expect a liar to take accountability? What are you talking about, man? Go ahead. I'm listening. Even when they tell the truth don't even sound good with them. That's why being a liar too. That's why mm, the energy, man. You gotta understand the energy. They are able to thrive through your energy, the illusion. They don't know how to go through their source, which is themselves, who they are. But here's the funny thing: when the truth goes inside of them, seek for, you know, what kind of soil that they have. That's the soil that never. That's just, oh man, it's nothing grows. It's not fertile at all. Like nothing. Like it's just destruction in there. And guess what they do? That's what they bring that out to you too. When you have a goal, you worry about, like the true magician worry about his goals. These illusionists, they worry about you. This is why they take great pleasure in just hurting people. That's in them. See, when you hear people tell you, "Hey, man, you can't help everybody," that's the wisdom, and this is the reality that we have to accept. But here you are living amongst them. This is what your haters are. This is who your haters are. The people who trying to hold you, not allowing you to grow because of the light that's inside of you, because you putting them to shame. Your light is really revealing who they are, and they are illusionists to the core. This is why they always self-destroy, thinking that they're destroying you. But now you definitely got to be careful too. I mean, they self-destroy when you are stronger than them. But because they can't acknowledge who and what is hurting them, they project that onto you. That's why regardless of what they do, it's always like, yeah, but you made me do it. Like, what? I made you want it to hurt me. Mm-hmm. Because they have no control over who they are. But they're illusionists because they know how to present themselves as such. Call this a spiritual war. Call it whatever you wish. But this is another aspect of the world that we're living in too that you also need to understand. That's why I always tell people you gotta understand the wisdom of ignorance. A lot of us spiritual people, and I listen to, I'm like, oh sister, you got it so wrong. You know how she was talking about, Machiavelli is negativity. No, it's not. No, it's not. And if it is, you need to deal with both of them. You have to understand the wisdom of, what I'm saying? Like when a book, like even the 40th Power of Law, like it took me a minute to fully grasp this book. Because at first it was like, yeah, that kind of power, that kind of, like, no, 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 no. You need all of that. Do you see what I'm saying? You need all of that. That's why I always tell people, man, I always tell them, you're not a better liar than God. No, there's nothing that the devil does better than God. You're not, the devil's not a better trickster. I mean, you can't be. You can't, because you don't know magic, true magic. You can't be. And this is why the light, they can never beat the light. And for you to be fully wise, you have to know the light and the dark. That's how you become complete, not just one side of it. You have to embrace all of it. And that's what the Kabbalah is teaching you by understanding good and bad. Like, of course, like I'm shit. Like these people, I'm more psychotic. I'm more of a psycho than they are. You know what I'm saying? The difference is this is well controlled over here. The lamb and the lion shall sit together. You see what I'm saying? That's why I tell them if you want war, listen, man. I mean, have you read about like Sodom and Gomorrah? There's nothing that the devil could do better than God, for lack of a better term, if you want to call it devil again. But the devil also, I mean, doesn't God have devil ways? God said, Moses went 7, 8 times talk to the Pharaoh. I did that shit. It's like all this time, nigga, you've been doing it like him, so he could show his wrath. You understand? And this is why to be emotionally balanced, it has nothing to do with you not expressing yourself, but has everything to do with you acknowledging and understanding your feelings. This is why you have to become mentally and emotionally balanced, not to have your so-called logic over your heart. That's a big mistake. You would be as emotionally unbalanced. Like when you use intelligence over your heart, you become robotic. And everybody's complaining about you. You thinking you're smart, but nah. And everybody could see you too. And that's also the foundation for being selfish too. Whereas self-love is totally different. It helps you to see this is why you have compassion for another. I'm not hurting as you are, but I understand. I truly do. So how can I be an asshole or laugh at somebody else's pain? That's trash shit, man. That's who you are. When nobody's watching, this is who you are. This is them, those fucking illusionists. They always gotta lie for them to prevail. But most importantly, they gotta build this thing around them. This is, it's like this is why a lot of this illusionists too, they wouldn't never hang out with somebody who's smarter than them because you're gonna show them they're not smart. No. And then how do you expect somebody like that to take accountability? And a lot of them, they are idiots too, man. So the so-called illusionists or energy vampires, those people are not a fully well human being. And that's what spirituality help you with, to fully become sane. You can only become sane through, in this mental institution, you can only become sane through your spirituality, through you being balanced emotionally and mentally, through you seeing this life for truly what it is and understanding who you are, not projecting yourself on other people. That's what illusionists do. And they're being caged by their own illusion. But you have to know the truth for you not to engage in their lies, in their illusion. This is why the wise ones, you just remove yourself and watch them destroying who they are. Watch them bringing the light into their life. They do it unconsciously too. You understand what I'm saying? It's like they have to use somebody. They're not, I mean, them using somebody is to use your own energy, not using somebody in terms of, and that's what truly using somebody is. If you're truly gonna use somebody, it's like it's to use them for when they're not around. Otherwise, you're not using somebody, you become depending on somebody. They are codependent. You know what I'm saying? And of course, there's no integrity, there's no light, there's no self-love. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, it's like there's a chain of command that comes with that. The whole that state of mind comes with a whole lot of stuff. You can't, if you can't take accountability, well, guess what? How are you gonna change? Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, okay. So, but anyway, it's that time, man. I gotta go. hmm That part is also very important for your self-development. And this is why I'm also talking about it, depending, because you need that opposition too, because that's what they're gonna bring to you. You know, um, it's like they create a world of lies. Whereas a true magician, on the flip side of it, that's why they can never figure us out. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a method to their things. Like we are truly chaos being, but that is in order. If that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? There's a higher order that my chaos or whatever it may look like to you. That's why I know motherfuckers be like, yo, man, I can never read this motherfucker. Why would you want to read me in the first place? Feel me? So just like I study God, they study you. Hmm. Man, such a beautiful day. It's not cold today. Chilling, chilling. But anyway, so it's very important because they are also part of your development. This is also part of you, your growth. So me living, being around the fucking illusionist, I got to see everything. How they think. And now that oh man, they're illusionist, and their destruction is always catastrophic too, because it's like they're building a house on sand just for their houses to collapse. And this is what you do when you build on fucking appearance. Oh, and by the way, let me say this before I let you guys go, because I realize there's a nuance, there's a little bit of misunderstanding that I feel like people at times get, right? So we love to talk about generational, wealth in terms of, it's almost like, and the one thing that I realize about people, and this is where you have to find the balance point, especially us parent too, right? It's almost like we make mistakes, but we don't want them to make mistakes, right? I mean, that's not the way to go about it. There's a reason why in a lot of our spiritual system we have rites of passage. Like that's why you see, let's just say a kid who's born rich, it's not always gonna have the best life. Or if you poor, then you may be inspired. Like there is power in opposites. This is why, and I'm saying that to say, like, I realize a lot of spiritualists at times, they want people to stay away from fucking distraction. They're trying to tell you such and such doing what to you. Nothing's doing nothing to you. People talk about the internet distraction. Well, guess what? You would have to be distracted, or how else? I mean, it's all about the way you use it. If you come across this and somehow it's helping you, how's the internet a fucking problem? It's what you using it for. You are the way. This is another gem that you got to take with you, that you got to know. Once you know that shit, even you not losing weight or whatever the fuck, when you understand it's you all the way, meaning even when shit, who do you think, being in our own way? It's you, bro. And anybody who ever lost weight, like when you realize, okay, then you figure it out, and then you see, okay, I wasn't ready then, I didn't have this knowledge, whatever the fuck. It was you. And sometimes that's why they tell you not to give up too, because you are building you. What you're doing is doing you. You have to invite these truths in your life. Buy arts, man. You know what I'm saying? Build yourself. I mean, have the light all around you if you're trying to be radiant. I'm just saying, because it will take onto you. And this is low key the definition behind that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like they're saying worshiping idols. No, this brings out the spirit out of you when you know how to use it. But now you guys are claiming to use the spirit, but you're looking for cars. That's what identify you. Or that's what you identify yourself with. Y'all got it all fucked up, man. Truly got it all fucked up, man. It's okay. Mhm. Even that is needed. That distraction, even all of it is needed. This is why the wise ones we understand not to build your house on a bridge. So be careful with that generational wealth shit. Yes, it's good to help your kids. Yes, 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 yes. But true growth, you can't deny them true growth, man. They got to see it through for themselves. Now, when we have rites of passage, what we're doing is that's a way to help them to activate these different things in them. That's why when you go to, let's just say, like in voodoo, we have something called lave tete, which is pretty much wash your head. But what they're truly doing is open up your third eye. So there are rituals, there are certain things, that you can do. This is where the meditation comes in. It's all the same shit. I mean, when you understand why you're doing it. So be careful with the whole generational curse because I mean, well, shit. Because a lot of you guys now you are building on sin, or you build trying to build a house in fucking on a fucking bridge. The lesson, I mean, I'm not saying not to live anything, but it's almost like I mean, like shit, man. Like I have a daughter, right? She's gonna have to get her heart broken. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I would want. I mean, but shit. Who am I to deny her from having that type of fucking experience? That's where your growth comes in. I mean, I realize the only protection is to give them the jewels, just like I'm doing right here, nigga. They gonna have to walk through it themselves. That's why all we can do is to hold that mirror, and you and us walking our truth too. Now that's a big one too. That's another big one. You know what I'm saying? And even for us to benefit, even from our ancestors, they had to walk their truth. That's the I mean that's the fruit of their labor, which also became our fruit of our labor too. Then they gave us the fruit for us to gain your own fruit of your labor. This is why saving yourself is a personal thing. Only you can do it. That's what makes you the way. But anyway, yeah. So let me. Oh shit! It's already almost an hour. So I just wanted to touch on that. So be careful. I mean, which is a good thing. I mean, I understand, you know what I'm saying? Generation. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. But make sure, that initiation aspect is also being done. Make sure that, man, listen, man, being broke taught me so much, bro. It's like, I'm not trying to put this on nobody, but you need both opposites, man. And what being broke teach me, and that's how I realize it's all the same, it gives me more clarity. When you always have money, $20, nothing is nothing, right? But when you don't have it, you know what I'm saying? It gives you a little bit of clarity, right? A little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Some people would say humble. I mean, I don't like that term. I don't know if it's humbling or a deeper realization. That's why I always tell people, man, like to be humble, not all that shit. It's a way of living. It's you knowing the truth, or even to living in gratitude. It's not some shit you say, man. You gotta live it. You understand it. That's why for me, I embrace being broke, nigga. Shit. As much as, you know, I embrace having money because I see the lesson in both. You know what I'm saying? Being broke doesn't keep you away from having money, man. If anything, for me, it shows me more. Not even why I need money, but also, shit. Everybody is man. Listen, everybody's out there to get your money, bro. You know what I'm saying? All those clubs you guys love. I mean, they're more expensive. They're like all that shit, man. You're like, God damn, a good time. It's like, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They giving you good. They're getting your money, and you just getting a good time. Not saying it's good or bad, but to acknowledge that though. That's how I know when the truth is setting you free. And now you're not attached. Now, like for me, like I move even better. You know what I'm saying? I don't spend my money on hype. I spend my money because I want to. I don't want to, I'm out. Fuck out of here. But being broke also gives me a little more clarity in terms of, it can help you. Oh, $20 is money, bro. The nickels niggas be throwing away like that. I mean, that's money too. It's a few of those nickels that give you a dollar, bro. There's no dollar without nickels. And this is not even to think on some low level shit, but it helps you to see the full picture. That's how you thinking high, high. That's why I use money, but money can never use me, man. The fuck? And how do you even let money use you, man? Like they printing the shit out, bro. I mean, you gotta let that shit sink in, bro. Because when that shit sucked in me, I'm like, what? They printing the shit out, and that's what you sucking dick for? I don't know, man. Maybe I just see things differently. I don't know, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna get it though. You know what I'm saying? But not having it allow me to see it for what it is. This is where that's why I always tell people when they ask me why do you fast? I mean, you look good and all that shit. I'm like, hey man, I never let a full stomach make me forget the wisdom of an empty stomach, man. That's why they are both needed for you to have a full perspective. This is why you need opposition in your life too, man. You want to look good, you go to the gym, right? None of us is thinking about the gym like is you are hurting your body, lifting heavy weights. Yeah, that how do you think your body's supposed to change? Because you hurting it. What do you think is happening in life for you to grow? Yeah, shit's painful like a motherfucker, but you have to flesh of my flesh, the bone of my. Listen, man, the sacrificial lamb, man. They thought they was good. Nah, nigga, I was already sacrificed. No one dies twice. Nobody does. Hmm. That's why you couldn't change my soul. You couldn't change my understanding. It's funny, right? The people I was raised with as a young child, and this is what they're facing now, though. They thought they knew me. They thought they changed me because they are true illusionists, meaning they're looking to implant ideas and changing your being. Because what makes you is information. This is why they tell you Christianity is and then who gave it to you? Your oppressor. You know what I'm saying? This is not a belief system. You can go believe all you want. This is practical understanding with God. And this is what all of our ancestors did. Jesus was not a stupid motherfucker, nor was, you know what I'm saying, they was not illusionists or, you know what I'm saying, or even had wishful thinking. They were practical motherfuckers with a living God experience that you were able to feel, sense, and now you're talking about it. But you don't understand how. I mean, you know what I'm saying? How do you remove yourself from all of this? You're the one who has to process it. Do you recognize why commercials, these niggas, they buying this shit? Shaq is wearing whatever the fuck he's selling you for you to go buy it. That's the idea of Jesus. That's why you must become like him. And he tells you that too. You don't become like me, I don't know you. Mm-hmm. That's why I gotta be careful what you eat, man. Because you're gonna become what you eat. Isn't that what you why you eating salad? Mm-hmm. Mm. It's what you put in you. You become that. Eat poison. See what's gonna happen to you. Fuck out of here. You always eat. Gun George. George. What's that? Shit. But anyway, yeah, man. So you don't build a house on sand. So if you're gonna have any type of I mean, I guess I'm saying that for myself too. You know what I'm saying? These niggas gonna have to put the work in, or their initiation in terms of developing their personality, and it has to go beyond what they have. That's why you must allow your kids to fall, man, and to remind them. And one of my favorite phrases in motherfucking Batman: "Why do you fall?" So you have to embrace the fucking opposites. Guiding your kids doesn't mean you stopping them from making mistakes, man. Or you trying to avoid them from not making mistakes. In fact, that's how they come out a little bit soft, bro. You know what I'm saying? They gotta go through it, baby. Hey man, everybody, we all gotta get initiated somehow, bro. You know what I'm saying? When life is hitting you, and then because the illusion also tell you the truth. I'm gonna have a whole different recording on that. The illusion is the truth. Life teaches you about life. It is also life that's gonna reveal to you, hey man, you chose a bitch because you got a fat ass. Life's gonna show you that reality. So the illusion is not even fucking an illusion. It tells you the truth as well. You see what I'm saying? This is why a wise man, I mean, you have to go through shit for you to become wise, man. Yeah. There was a bunch of dudes I used to love, man, seeing the wisdom, how laid back they were, but I didn't know what it comes with until, but then again, it was something in me too. It was Trinity, the Trinity. You gotta understand that. Your truth. Now I know it was always me. Hmm. And this is why Osiris, you have to recollect those pieces of you through Isis, which is knowledge and wisdom, to be honest. You are recollecting those pieces of you. And of course, with the sun, which is Horus. But this is part of the mystery, too. It has to be put that way, too, man. I mean, because this is what it's meant. The parables, it's meant for you not to take it little. And you niggas still do. You know what I'm saying? Jesus resurrection, man. It's not just physical, bro. Not to say, I mean, shit. I mean, nothing is impossible now. I mean, I know that, but that was not the idea. Hmm. Because your resurrection, you would have to fully. When we talk about that integration, I know even for me, right? So, oh man, that integration was something else, bro. You know what I'm saying? And even with my gifts too, I can actually see the synchronicities now. You know, it went to a point. I mean, I was to feel it. Now I can see the shit flash in front of me. I'm like, whoa. See how there's a lot of moves that's taking place around us, bro. I mean, there's no coincidence. There is no, let's just say, if I'm living here, I'm gonna end up somewhere. This is how your steps are being guided too. Now, I know mine's are. You know what I'm saying? When I connect with my people, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? And this is the part, as the final part, man. Like you got to be initiated by God Himself. You know what I'm saying? I hope we get to see Him. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, man. It's over an hour. Always a pleasure, as you can see. You know, I love this shit. There's a lot more. uh, maybe I should do a part two, man, because I went very light on this one, and trust me, it gets really heavy. So we're gonna call this part one, part two. Watch out! I mean, be on the lookout for part two. And as always, I always like to give you guys. I mean, I gave you so much already, but I'm full of them. I'm saying a man full of knowledge. A man is a very abundant man. Like I'm shit. I don't think you understand. And being a true gold digger too, man. You know what I'm saying? Over here, I'm teaching you how to be a true gold digger. You know, giving you Crime 101, the movie. Do you understand what I'm saying? To steal jewels and to go only for jewels, man. Don't go for anything else, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But how useful, you know what I'm saying? Because we determine how useful something is and on how impactful it is into your life. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why you got to be a wise farmer, man. Because everything you plant now, you will dig it later. It's for everybody, man. We all diggers, man. I planted gold, man. And I also learned, listen, man, this is where metaphysics comes in too. You're not gonna plant bullshit. And you are like, you know what I'm saying? You have other people who planted strawberries, man. They are expecting gold. Okay. Be positive. You know what? You could be a positive all you want. Yeah, you could be positive all you want. You'll be a positive idiot. You know what I'm saying? And again, the illusionists, they are idiots who trying to get you to think that they are smart. But when you see them for who they are, because you are the true magician, they don't know how to transform. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to get through this door and get out of that other door. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you need a key maker. You don't know the key makers. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any connection with no key makers, man. You know what I'm saying? And You know what I'm saying? I get in this door, I get out somewhere else, man. You can study me all you want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen, good luck, man. I'm studying me. But anyway, we're gonna leave it here, man. It is a pleasure, guys. You know what I'm saying? Oh, some of the gems that I wanted to leave you with, man. You gotta invite gems in your life. That's the first gems. You know what I'm saying? Beauty attracts more beauty, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. When you go to a white neighborhood, it's real clean and nice. You know, you feel a certain way. Even if you got something in your hand, you're not gonna drop it on the floor. Now, would you? Or when you go in the hood, everything's already trash. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why you gotta have art, man. First of all, man, get beauty around you, man. Be beautiful to look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The knowledgeable niggas, they spend their time doing valuable shit. You want to be smart? I mean, sure, you're gonna have to read some books too, man. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are you planting? What are your seeds? Or are you creating the illusion? Or are you becoming a true magician? You know, something for you to ponder. Again, take that with you. Take that, take that, take that. I sent.